Stand by. The program will begin soon.
An example yesterday I saw of this woman who's been here. I mean, we might even play this clip. She's been here 20 years. She has 3 kids who were born here. Her kids are married because of birthright citizenship, which is another subject that's coming up. And she's never bothered to even try to resolve her immigration status. Not in 20 years. She has never tried to resolve her immigration status. Not through Republican presidents, not through Democratic presidents, nothing. And so now, she's worried about being deported because they put out the sob story of this woman. Well, that's not the average person they're even looking at right now. The average person they're looking at crossed in the last 3 years are CNN is cutting jobs to embrace the digital future. No, they're cutting jobs because, as I like to say, they suck. CNN is undergoing a significant restructuring, planning to lay off about 200 employees, which constitutes approximately 6% of its workforce. This move is part of a broader strategy under CEO Mark Thompson to pivot towards a digital-first approach, focusing on expanding digital subscriptions and reducing costs from traditional TV operations. Wait a minute. Didn't they already try the CNN subscription service, which failed miserably? Which, if you truly have compassion for trans kids, you would allow them to all go through puberty, because 90% of kids who think they're trans change their mind once they go through puberty. That puberty is the fix for most of the problems. But you guys want the medicalization of kids and sterilization of kids and medical and surgical altering of kids who can't make that decision at 12 years old or 13 years old. Canis Diablo asks, why is it when I try to show empathy and concern, people always misconstrue it? Last time I asked someone if their mom at least got a good check from the clinic that botched the abortion. Oh. Oh, God. Damn it, AD. I think you just need to find a gentler tone.
Stand by. The program will begin soon.
I would be willing to bet everything I own that submitting a 22-minute video montage that shows the most egregious acts of violence you can find from that day, when the defendant in question is on that video for only 6 seconds and the scene walking calmly, is highly prejudicial and a violation of the defendant's due process rights. The person was found guilty and sentenced to 19 months in prison. Now, it took 2 hours to read through all of the documents that were in the case file. Every motion submitted by the defendant was denied. Every motion by the defendant was denied. How often does that happen? And every motion submitted by the government was granted. They turned a trespass misdemeanor that would have resulted in a $50 ticket into 5 misdemeanors and a felony charge by charging the defendant with a statute that would have required the Secret Service to rope off the section he was in, which they did not. They also charged him with a statute that would have required them to prove Mike Pence was in the building at the time he walked through that corridor. He was not. And they used an Enron statute that the Supreme Court struck down. If you accept a pardon, you are admitting guilt. Period. That's the, because you can't be pardoned if you're not guilty.
Whether he can preemptive part, whether he can issue President's reportedly asking his staff whether he can issue preemptive pardons for himself, his family members, Rudy Giuliani. There's a simple answer: no. No, Mr.
Oh,
that
you
would be a
can't?
gross abuse
Oh,
of the presidential
it's a
pardon authority.
gross abuse.
President-
A presidential pardon authority. Well, there you go. You accepted a pardon, Adam Kinzinger. You think you may have committed a crime. Oh, here, J.B. Raskin. Dirty Q-tip. Dirty Q-tip, Jamie Raskin. What else? What did he have to say?
Well, the seeking of pardons is
Yes, it's only on
powerful
one side.
demonstration of the consciousness of guilt, or
Ah,
at least the consciousness that you may be in trouble.
Jamie
And that's
Raskin.
what's so shocking
Did he get a
about this.
pardon also? Wasn't he on
Well,
that committee?
The seeking of pardons is
He was on that committee. I'm curious if you're going to condemn that part. You're going to condemn that pardon.
Joe Biden pardoned a lot of people. Yeah, he should answer for that and explain.
Lots of murderers, lots of drug dealers, lots of people who killed people, commuted the sentence of a couple murderers. One who, in fact, one drug dealer who people died from taking the drugs that they sold them.
Stand by. The program will begin soon.
The Obama-Aniston rumors have gone wild. Rumors have emerged on social media that suggest Barack and Michelle Obama might be heading towards divorce, with speculators linking Barack Obama to actress Jennifer Aniston. Those rumors have gained traction following Michelle Obama's absence from Jimmy Carter's funeral and the inauguration, and are based on tabloid stories and social media speculation without solid confirmation from the individuals involved. So far, they're still rumors, and I don't know why people are perpetuating them, but it is kind of fun to perpetuate rumors like that. No one's come out to out and out deny anything. That's the weird.
We should just take a deep breath and acknowledge the audacity.
The audacity!
Of a president who's so clearly
The
concerned about his own
audacity!
criminal culpability.
Oh my God, his own criminal culpability and his son's business dealings. I know that they're talking about Joe Biden, aren't they?
And that of his family members.
Select a Boy asks, are cats really soul suckers? Yes. Yes. That's why I'm not into cats. Dogs, man. I'm a dog guy. Hepatitis Diablo, is there an aisle in the grocery store that is less objectionable to have sex in? Where do you come up with this shit? Dude.
Trump has done something no person in the world has ever done before. A dead man, a dead politician, has risen.
Yes.
Somebody who if we were 4 years ago at Davos, he's buried, a dead.
And I wonder how many people at Davos have been funding Donald Trump's demise that has failed. I wonder how many people at Davos, again, let me say it again. I wonder how many people at Davos have been funding what they had hoped would be Trump's demise. I bet you there's a few of them there. And didn't work, did it now? Didn't work now, did it?
Politically known to me. He's now returned. This is the greatest comeback in political history of a politician. And then, therefore, he thinks he can make it.
At the end of the show, every day on my show, if I put something on the screen or I'm talking about it, or it's a topic or an article that I'm presenting in this show, I provide links to every single thing that I've talked about. And even more, the ones I didn't even get to, I drop them in the chat at the end of the show, and also I drop them in the description. So if you want to find these articles, they will be in the links at the end of the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, the one and only PDawgKnight.
Oh, yeah. I'm supposed to turn this microphone on. Hey, everybody. Good morning. It's me, Marty, also known as PDawgKnight on the internet. Welcome to the Night Channel on the Morning Night Live this 4th of August, 2025. The day before Lady Boomer's birthday. If you want to contribute, something, whatever. Is that what it says over there? I don't even know what it says right now. Isn't the Lady Boomer birthday fund? Yeah, $10 million. I think we're going to raise that number too. Anyway, hi. How you doing? Happy Monday. I'm back from the Spam Museum this weekend, which was surprisingly awesome. It was, we did one of our vacation things this weekend. And we went to Austin, Minnesota, and specifically to go to the Spam Museum. One of my son's friends had mentioned it one time when we were at another one of my son's friends' weddings, and we went down there, and it was actually quite interesting. It was cool. It was free. Even the personal guided tour was free. And I learned more about spam than I ever wanted to know. And it was actually interesting. Interesting how much spam we sell like on the Pacific Rim, where basically all the places that were part of this Pacific Theater during World War II, all those places love spam. And in fact, at McDonald's in Hawaii, you can get this spam and egg breakfast at McDonald's, a special menu item. And I'm probably going to be talking a lot about spam this week. I don't know why. Not the bad kind of spam, the good kind of spam. The can and the ham, the ham and other pork product in a can. I'm just, it's actually interesting. And while you're in the museum too, they walk around with samples. They have like 12 or 15 different varieties of spam. Did you know that? And they're walking around with samples different. We tried the teriyaki, we tried the bacon spam, we tried the what was the other one? There was bacon teriyaki. Oh, and the Korean barbecue spam, which actually they sell here in the United States. They only sell a few of the varieties here, but they have them all over the place. And they spell a shit ton of spam in Hawaii, Guam, Philippines, Japan, China. They love their spam. And did you know? I don't know why I'm talking about this. During World War II, we sent 90 million pounds of spam just to the Russians alone. We sent it all over the world. Our troops, especially in the Pacific Theater, ate it. That was basically what they ate all the time. But 90 million pounds to the Russians. Apparently in like the 50s, Nikita Khrushchev said, if they hadn't sent us all this spam, they might not have been able to feed their troops during World War II. So a little weird canned kind of ham pork product, canned meat, may have won World War II. It saved everybody. Biological warfare. No, they ate it and they survived and they were able to fight and die for the cause against Hitler. So anyway, there you go. So, all right, let's get this thing started. First, Avocado Stabby's already dropped a ham, or not, what do you call that? A small bullet in the tip jar, and that makes you are the new Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day. Thank you, Avocado Stabby, who says on Streamlabs, remember, 63 years ago today, JFK killed Marilyn Monroe. Yeah, I was going to get to that, but you beat me to it. Thank you, AD. Let's say hi to the chat. First in the chat today is Somnambule Nation. Gets the bell. Congratulations. Also warning Avocado Diabli. JB's here. Rick Ashbringer, the Pope Tyrannus III, the Blessed Lich, with the message of hope for the day. Blessing of the sacred dead. Each day on earth is a gift from him. to all of us. Thank you, Pope, for the blessing of the day. Also, good morning. Oh, you don't like, but I don't like spam. That's true. If you ever watched the old Monty Python skit. Also, good morning to I said JB. Resolute Germs in the house. What up? Lord Stanhope, welcome here. K Shell's in the house. Hello, Kirsten. How you doing? Also, let's see as I scroll down. TC's in the house. Ranting Monkey. Oh no.
Your life makes me sad.
Also, who else is here? That's it. I'm scrolling. Oh, Louie is in the chat. I'm going to talk about it. Attack Alpaca, good morning. Donkey Punch Bandit, the greatest name on the internet. Also, who else? I'm scrolling. That's about it. Oh, and on the honorable mention list of my favorite Canadians, Special Can Acid. So there you go. If you haven't shared the stream, I'd greatly appreciate it. Click that link up there and drop a let's go or something. Let's see who's shared the stream so far. I'm sure a few of you have already. Let's see. Oh, a bunch of you have. Thank you very much. First, of course, Somnamble Nation. Tweet out the show without any prompting from me, and I greatly appreciate that. Let me, oops, I actually clicked it. I want to share it, and I click it. There we go. We'll like it, and we'll repost it. There you go. Also, Resolute Germ with the Daily Wrestler. Oh, this dude, and I knew who this dude was, like Big Daddy or something like that. Something. This guy, he was kind of entertaining, although, you know, kind of now I'm sure his character would be considered problematic. Anyway, Mr. X, thanks for the retweet and let's go. Somnamble Nation with a little dance groove going on. I can't tell who that is though. It almost looks like it's funny because it almost looks like a Parliament Funkadelic dance line on there, because they'd have 80,000. They'd have like 90 people on stage when Parliament Funkadelic would do shows. Pretty crazy. Randy Monkey, oh, there you go. Going to do your show after I watch PDawg. Well, there you go. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks for doing that, Monk. I appreciate it more than you know. Maybe we'll get a few stray other people's in here. That'd be fantastic. Also, the Daily Ric Flair from Tyre Alexander. Woo, thank you. Good morning. Who else did this? Did I repost Monk? Yes, I did. And also the Daily samurai movie flick thing from JB. I don't know which one it is, but you know, nothing better than someone swinging a samurai sword around. And all the people retweeted: Tyre Alexander, Kirsten Shell, K Shell, link in description, which is Somnamble Nation, Mr. X51, and Resolute Germ. Thank you, everyone who does that. You are all loved and well appreciated. So there you go. Oh, I never did reset the Superstar sponsor of the day on Friday. Well, it is not Gunfox yet. It is definitely our friend Avocados Dabbly, who, just because I screwed that up, I played it again. There you go. Mystery Lab Superstar Donor of the Day with a top donation of $2.23. Please beat that for Lady Boomer's birthday. We're taking her out tomorrow night. All right, let's get into some news. I'm going to cheat and just replay your show. Don't do that. Don't do that. We want to hear Monkey in the morning. And it'll just be actually kind of in the morning for the normal people. Because, at least if you're in the Midwest or beyond, because it'll be noon your time. But anyway, it'll be 11:30 a.m. Eastern. If you start at 11:30 a.m. Eastern, you will still be in the morning. So there you go. All right, let's see. What are some things happening in the world? Some special things, the special days. We always talk about the special days. Today, as far as holidays, it's U.S. Coast Guard Day. Let's see. On this Coast Guard Day, we salute the brave members of the U.S. Coast Guard since 1790. The Coast Guard has answered the call to respond to crisis, facilitate commerce, and secure our borders and maritime approaches, except during the Biden administration. But anyway, so 235 years of the U.S. Coast Guard celebrating today. That's awesome. Other holidays, the more important holiday, though, is National Chocolate Chip Cookie Day. It's indulge your sweet tooth at National Chocolate Chip Cookie Day. Delicious recipes, discounts, and deals await you. Don't mess out. I don't know why they say there's recipes. I'm sure, look, I just like the old, simple Nestle Toll House cookie recipe that's on the bag, with some walnuts in it usually, or sometimes pecans, but I like it I like it better with pecans and walnuts. But anyway, that might be the best chocolate chip cookie recipe there is. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying it is, right? So anyway, let's see. Okay, so but it's also National White Wine Day, which my wife will appreciate. U.S. Coast Guard birthday, single working women's day. Why would we be celebrating single working women's day? Celebrate hardworking single women in your life. Show them love and appreciation on Single Working Women's Day. I'm not going to show them my love because I'm married and happily. So anyway, and then there's other holidays. You can click the link for that. I'm tired of that shit. Also, it's St. John Vianney Day or Vianney. I don't know. There's apparently this is the Catholic Saints Day, the patron saint of priests, particularly parish priests. So be sure to wish your pastor a happy feast of his patron, unless he's one of those, you know which one I'm talking about. And then you can just tell him to fuck off. But anyway, yeah, so St. John Vianney is the patron saint of parish priests. And so, yeah, whatever that's worth. What else is trending? I got a bunch of trending stuff kicked up. Oh, today is there's the celebrity birthday today. That would be none other than the Duchess of Sussex. Which I almost said Duchess of Suckage. But anyway, yeah, happy birthday, Meghan Markle, the Duchess of Sussex. Now I almost said it on purpose. Why is there a picture of a pair of women in a photo on Single Women's Day? Yeah, that was not a single woman. That was a duo of women. But anyway, happy birthday, Meghan Markle, everyone's favorite American princess. Yeah, that's enough about her. Moving on. It's also, though, now today we mourn the death of Lonnie Anderson. Lonnie Anderson, formerly of WKRP in Cincinnati. What was her? Jennifer Marlowe, that was her name on WKRP. And this one, I pulled this up. Particularly, I had a friend send me a text about this. In fact, I'm going to read this text because I'm sure there's some of you who can empathize, whatever, with this text. And he said, they said, Lonnie Anderson died. Rest in peace. And my friend sent me a text that said, whoa, I had some alone time with her as a young teen. I was like, oh, you met oh, wait, that's not what you meant. So for all of you who had some alone time with Lonnie Anderson back in the day, you can think about that right now. Someone said, you mean with her picture? Alone picture? Let's not get into the details. So there you go. Yeah, if you had some alone time with Lonnie Anderson back in the day, which I'm sure many young men did, because, she was a fine individual. Yeah, there's her in a WKRP t-shirt. And there you go. So anyway, rest in peace, Lonnie Anderson. Now, it's ironic that Lonnie Anderson passed away on the same day Marilyn Monroe died, which was the foreshadowing by Avocados Dabbly in the chat, or in the super chat, whatever. Good morning, Gen T. What up? Nice to have you. It's ironic that she died the same day as Marilyn Monroe because a lot of people would like to, everyone makes Marilyn Monroe comparisons whenever someone's Hollywood and blonde. And so, this is the day that John Kennedy killed Marilyn Monroe. I always thought she looked like Downsy Heather Locklear. Oh my God, Monk. Well, yeah, I guess so. Let's say more, rather than saying Downsy, let's just say more prominent features than Heather Locklear. In several ways. Okay, so anyway, yeah, Marilyn Monroe died this way on, she was born on June 1, 1926, died August 4th, 1962 at age 36 in Los Angeles, California. Known for playing comic blonde bombshell characters, American actress Marilyn Monroe, oh my God, this is a whole biography. I'm not reading all that shit. It's just scroll through the fucking Twitter feed on that one. Here, I'll make this a separate. If you really want to read her biography, I'll put a separate link to the biography. There you go. All right. There you go. Bing, bang, boom. All right. I'm not reading that. Fuck it. All right. Moving on. A lot of other trending stuff. It's not as newsy a day as I was thinking. Oh, so I noticed when I got through here today. What do you mean earthy? I don't know what you're talking about. when I got into X this morning, for some reason, John Candy was trending. You know, John Candy, the comic actor, former. What was he on? Not the Great White North. What was that? What was that Canadian funny show? Not the Groundlings. Someone tell me what that show was. Anyway, John Candy, a veteran of movie and other SCTV. Thank you. Which is not really. That wasn't really. That was American, wasn't it? SCTV? Was that American? But there was a lot of Canadians on it. Anyway, John Candy was trending. I was like, why the hell is John Candy trending? And there were, you know, all these little tributes and remembering the movies, Uncle Buck and whatever other movies he was in. He was in a lot of movies. Trains, Planes, and Automobile and all that. And was he in Home Alone? No, he wasn't at Home Alone. Anyway, and I was like, was SCTV Canadian? I don't know. With Rick Moranis, Mel Brooks, not Mel Brooks. Anyway, I'm trying to finish this sentence. John Candy's trending because apparently there's going to be a documentary about John Candy coming out. So a lot of people are talking about John Candy, and he was a funny dude. Died too soon. He's, you know, he was one of the fat actors who died too soon crowd. And but yeah, he was a funny dude. I didn't think he was the funniest dude, but he was humorous. I thought he was funnier than, what's the other fat guy from Saturday Night Live? Chris Farley? I think he was funnier than Chris Farley. Although Chris Farley, their comedy was similar but very different. It was funny because they were fat guys. That's all I got to say about that. Let's move on. What the hell? Here's why John Candy's trending. I asked Grok, hey Grok, why is John Candy trending? John Candy is trending in 2025 primarily due to the announcement of an upcoming release of a documentary about his life, John Candy, I Like Me, directed by Colin Hanks and produced by Ryan Reynolds. The film is set to premiere on opening night gala at the 50th Toronto International Film Festival. Very appropriate. He's Canadian. On September 4th, 2025. It will debut globally on Prime Video on October 10th, 2025. It features never-before-seen home videos. Excuse me. Ew. Oh, what? No, not those kind of home videos, baby. Anyway, never seen home videos. Family interviews, recollections from collaborations, offering an intimate look. Oh no, maybe they were that kind of video. No. Anyway, no, I'm just kidding. I'm really childish. At the beloved Canadian comedian's life and career, the documentary has generated significant buzz with Reynolds and Hanks emphasizing Candy's relatable qualities and lasting impact, contributing to renewed interest in his legacy. So there you go. There's more, but whatever. John Candy. John Candy was a fun actor, and if he was in a movie, there were funny bits to it. So rest in peace, John Candy. Big Bird is also trending because there's a lot of people up in arms because PBS announced last week the Corporation for Public Broadcasting announced that they would be shutting down. They'd be shutting down PBS and their NPR stuff, and because Congress, I guess, basically took away public funds from them, which I still don't understand. I still don't understand why they could do this, because I thought, they only got a portion of their funding from public, from the government, but they say they're shutting down, and so people are saying, you would never have Big Bird without. Well, Big Bird's not part, as Advocacy rightly says, Big Bird is no longer has anything to do with PBS, and in fact, even when they were what they were, they got a grant from the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, but Sesame Street grew into a multi-billion-dollar enterprise. So they were funding themselves, and now they're owned by HBO. They have nothing to do with it. And I'm listening to all these people bitch about the demise of PBS, and here, like for example, here it is. Sesame Street and Big Bird are one of the most recognizable brands. If they can't find a broadcaster without government, this is a good point. If they can't find a broadcaster without government subsidizing, it shouldn't exist. No, they can't. They're owned by HBO now. And in fact, here it is. Elizabeth Warren Pocahontas. Do not call her Pocahontas. It's Faux, F-A-U-X, Pocahontas. Says instead of lowering grocery costs, Donald Trump is trying to cancel Big Bird. No, Big Bird can't be canceled. They are a multi-billion-dollar enterprise, and they have, they make their own money. Hell, a free breather. What's up? PBS logo is profile image of an NPC. Yeah, kind of is. That's funny, isn't it? Anyway, so the idea that Sesame Street is not gonna, is gonna be no longer, is just nonsense. And also, let me explain something about the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, PBS, all this government-funded shit, right? The reason public broadcasting, PBS and NPR, whatever, the reason they were important back in the day is because the television enterprise only had really 3 networks and sort of a 4th eventually, right? But PBS came out because the commercial enterprises, they just thought, they were going to have all the artsy fartsy stuff and all the really important, very public important access stuff on PBS because there were only 3 networks. There was only 3 choices. Entertainment was very limited when it came to television. Okay? So they came up with this stupid public broadcasting thing to have, because they didn't think that the public needed the arts. The public needed, Bob the painter guy, and the public needed Sesame Street and all these things, right? And all these things came out of PBS that were really great things. However, there are so many entertainment choices right now. And the reason some of your television networks are struggling, like the Late Show, they're canceled. Late Show, the reason the networks struggle because everyone has so many more choices. You got choices everywhere. You can get Netflix, you can get Amazon, you can get this, you can get that. The cable networks all had, they had Lifetime where they had documentaries. They had what was that Discovery Channel? All the stuff that you would normally wouldn't see except on PBS is everywhere. You got YouTube, you got all these just everywhere. Shit's everywhere. You don't need it anymore. There's so many, too many options. Exactly, Monk. There's too many options now. And the idea that our government is paying for a TV network that can sustain itself, it sustains itself on donations. Look, if there are people out there who are so shook up about the public broadcasting going away, give them your money. Get your favorite left-wing billionaire to give them their money. We don't have to, the government doesn't have to pay for that shit no more. And look, they have some good programming, but now it's like left-wing, news shit, and it's they'll have like 50s concert reunions and to raise money from people who are older than me, and I'm old. Actually, I kind of like some of those when they have the, they had a 70s R&B reunion. I remember the Whispers were on there. Rock, steady rocking all night long. Remember that? Anyway, hi Shady Grid, what's up? Nice to see you. And Renee Mayette, what's up, Renee Mayette? Nice to have you here. All right. And I said I had a free breather too, right? There you go. Anyway, so that's why Big Bird's trending, because, oh my gosh, farewell to CBS. Oh, PBS and NPR right off into the sunset. New Ben Garrison cartoon. Farewell, PBS and NPR. Time to pack up those tote bags and Big Bird plushies for the great garage sale in the sky. After decades of sipping from the taxpayer trough, the Corporation for Public Broadcasting is finally hitting the off switch, courtesy of President Trump defunding crusade. America stands to save about $500 million a year. Back in 1969, Congress birthed the Corporation for Public Broadcasting as a nonprofit cash conduit, funneling a whopping $15 billion with a B over the years straight to PBS and NPR stations. These broadcasters weren't exactly starving artists. They've also raked in piles of public donations. I think pledge drives where you donate $50 for a mug that says, "I love PBS." Trump's team has long griped about the network's far-left bigotry masquerading as journalism, and now the plug's been pulled on that particular echo chamber. It's like finally ditching the U.S. penny that tiny useless relic we cling to like a bad ex. This sounds like a Greg Gutfield monologue because it's humorous but not that funny. It was an institution, then a habit, then just pocket lint, costing us millions to produce. Breaking bad habits is tough, but hey, we managed with ending the penny. Now it's time to coin a new era without propping up partisan programming on the public's dime. Right? We know, who knows, maybe Elmo can get a new job on late night TV. We hear there's an opening, right, Colbert? The Grrr team has wrote this. Anyway, that's actually kind of humorous. All right. Hello, Reaction Puerto Rico, you lovely island of tropical breezes. All right. Next, two-tier justice is trending. Oh, yeah. So apparently this is in the UK, but you can write this story in many cities in the United States of America. Apparently, this is someone over in the UK, Antifa activist, Caroline Lenigan. I said that wrong. Antifa activist Caroline Lenigan apparently has avoided jail for a second time after assaulting a police officer. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. She was previously convicted of attacking a man she wrongly labeled far right. Both times she walked free while others were jailed for tweets. Well, that's kind of the norm, you know. Remember, okay, someone tried to throw this shit at me recently. Remember when some bullshit study, probably sponsored by the Southern Poverty Law Center, came out and said that like 85 or 90% of all extremist violence comes from the far right. And so I'm like, okay, that's got to be bullshit, because we've seen years of left-wing extremist violence, bombings and riots and all this shit, right? And so I went and looked at their study. And I don't even remember what year it was from, but you read the and they only listed like 13 events as extremist violence, and they were over like a period of like 9 years or so. But when they said extremist violence, they only counted things that were right wing. Like not a single mention of any of the Antifa riots in Portland, not a single mention of people being murdered in the street by left-wing, clearly political things. They didn't list any of them. They just listed these, like the sample was like 13 things. When I was like, I could name 100 things in 1 year that could be considered left-wing extremist violence. So now, and then, but since then, everyone quotes that study as though it were gospel, because the headline was it was a manufactured headline just so they could say 90% of all extremist violence comes from the right wing, when it was complete bullshit. And it was they did that after I know that came out after the January 6th bullshit. But it's just like how they whenever the people on the left are gonna give you an example of right-wing violence, give me the list, guys. You know the list. They'll give you. There's a list of 3 things that they will always consider, and one of them is January 6th, obviously. One of them, Charlottesville, which the violence in Charlottesville wasn't started by the right. The violence in Charlottesville was started by the left. The police made the people who were at their statue protest, they made them leave through the counter protesters, and the counter protesters started attacking them. But the poor girl died because the guy with his car ramming his car to the crowd, and that's the only thing they remember about it. That's the only thing they know about that incident, when that one is absolutely started by the left. And then the other one, they'll go back all the way to Dylan Roof. Dylan Roof's the other one. Which, does anyone? Okay, let me ask you something. A lot of you are right-leaning or on the right. Is there anybody in this that anyone you know of, is there anyone that you know of on the right who supports or supported Dylan Roof? Because I know everyone I can think of who's like, Dylan Roof, fuck that guy. He went out and murdered people in a church. Fuck that guy. But the left is like, oh, he was a right-wing extremist. No, he's a fucking asshole. Fuck that guy. Good morning, Annalyn. What's up? Darren Root, what's up? Nice to have you here. Oh, by the way, did y'all hit the like button yet? I'm just curious. How many of you hit the like button so far? I got to remind you, because, if I don't remind you, it doesn't always get done. 36 people, 9 likes. What the fuck? Come on. Come on. Yeah, fuck Dylan Roof. Nobody gives a shit about Dylan Roof. Nobody claims him. Nobody wants him. He's an asshole. Okay? He's a little punk bitch asshole who killed a bunch of people in a church. By the way, good morning, Select a Boy. Yeah, boy. And the original viewer of the Morning Night Live, Johnny Hellcat's in the house. The very first viewer of this show, and he will always have that distinction. Also, Jesse Leon's in the house. Nice to have you. By the way, if you're one of those 36 people and you haven't chimed in the chat, just put some in the chat so I can say hi to you. I'd like to know who's here. And bring your friend next time. Bring a friend. Bring a damn friend next time. All right, enough about what was that? That was the extremist violence. Yeah. Oh, that was talking about PBS. Anyway, this hoe, this, and this is so, but it's so typical. In fact, here it is. Southport man attacks police officer, 3 years in jail, versus left-wing woman attacks police officer, avoids jail for a second time after previously assaulting a man she wrongly believed was far right. So, and that happens everywhere. All the little left-wing fuckwads who cause violence and get arrested, they're out the next day. But no. Oh, we have dogs there. By the way, my son's in town. I'm really happy about that. He has his dog with him. A really cute standard poodle named Nacho. Anyway, I'm sure you wanted to know that. Anyway, that's why two-tiered justice is trending. What else? U.S. Code of Military Justice training. Oh, there's this Army soldier. Listen to this. Okay, wait a minute. You got to see this. This asshole in uniform. The question is, should this guy be discharged? I haven't played it yet, but now I got to see it because apparently he's calling on people to. Well, I don't know what he's calling on people to. Let's just watch and find out. Let's watch and find out. You hit it twice? You hit it twice? Abacadably. He hit it twice. Oh, baby. Yeah. No, sorry. That's so childish. I just can't stop myself. Good morning. Willie is driving his car, so he can't be in the chat much. Be safe there, Willie. Don't be chatting while you're driving. Anyway. All right. By the way, did you see the video of the police surrounding the activists to arrest them? No, I haven't seen that yet. If you got a link, drop it in the chat. All right. Here's this guy. People are the term UCMJ, which is the Universal Code of Military Justice, is trending because of this dude. Let's watch.
I have a message for the American people.
Do you?
Last December.
Wait a minute. You're U.S. Army. What's his rank? I can't see his rank. Is he a lieutenant? Is that a second lieutenant? No, I can't tell because it's there. Okay, as a message for the American people.
I encouraged you to give this new administration a chance. Time is up.
Oh.
Our government is compromised. Tyrants get promoted and patriots get punished. I am very concerned that we are on the brink of losing our constitutional republic to tyranny. We came extremely close during COVID, and it seems to me like everyone has already forgotten that it even happened.
Oh yeah, warrant officer. What is that? What he is? No, there's not warrant officers in the Army, are there? Chief? Oh yeah, there are. Never mind. Still,
there's been no rectification and absolutely no accountability. The only way that I see we the people taking back our country is a ground-up revolution. We must abandon the America First movement as well as both political parties. I am calling for the God First, Liberty Second movement to be born in the United States of America. This will take at least 8 to 12.
Is he just called for revolution wearing an army uniform? he might be in the brig there pretty soon. I'm just saying. That's
12 years to accomplish. We must first take municipal seats, then county seats, then state seats, and then we will take back our federal government. If the spirit of patriotism burns within you, you are called to the work. For many are called, but few are chosen. We need those who otherwise never would have gotten involved in politics to step up and serve. What would your qualifications be?
Now, it's interesting because his version of revolution is to get into elected offices. But he's on that fine line right here, if you ask me. He's on the fine line. Let's see what else he says.
I can't say, but I can share what the Lord personally impressed.
Yeah, you can't do anything political while you're in uniform. Yeah, he's in his uniform. That's the problem. That's the biggest problem. So he discharge, dishonorable brig, something. He's flirting with bar time, and I don't mean the lucky lady down the street. Not the lucky lady. Well, that's the name of a bar in Des Moines, Iowa, I think. Anyway, it used to be when I was in college. Anyway,
upon me to qualify for me to participate in his work, and maybe it will guide you in seeking your calling. Number 1, you must keep yourself above reproach. If you have any vices, you must abandon them. Pornography.
Okay, he's a Puritan, which, whatever.
Any sexual sin, any addiction, unrighteous anger, and pride were a few that were impressed upon me. The enemy of all freedom will use anything you do against you, so only do good.
Well, they certainly try that. They do that against the current president, that's for sure.
2, you must prioritize your health and fitness. If you do not have a strong tabernacle to house your spirit.
By the way, I'm not saying he's wrong in this, but as far as making this a political statement while you're in uniform, that's a problem.
Your emotions and your mental health.
What if you're addicted to God? Oh, wow. I hadn't thought of that. He's standing in front of the CO because he made that statement in uniform, and to top it off, he's a commissioned officer. Yeah, that's a problem.
You will struggle to overcome the attacks that surely will come. Number 3, you must trust in God with all your heart. There will be hard times ahead in this movement. If you do not have faith, you will not endure. Number 4, you must be willing to sacrifice everything. Your life may even be taken. Personally, I'm all in. I am currently running for mayor in the city of Eagle Mountain, Utah, where I reside. My primary election...
Hold up. Siri, what's the population of Eagle Mountain, Utah? 46,623. I'm okay. Let me just say that I'm surprised even that's that big of a town. Never heard of it, but that's a small town though. That's about the size of my grandparents' town, Marshalltown, Iowa. No, actually, they had about 66,000. Whatever.
Is taking place soon. If I fail to prevail, in 2 years I will run for city council, and then in 4 more years I will run for mayor again. I am calling on.
Okay. For a second, I'm thinking about this. So you're going to go run for mayor. You're going to start by running for mayor of Eagle, whatever town, Eagle something, Utah. Okay. That's 43,000 out of 360 million people, or whatever we got, 350, whatever. Close enough. Let's say it's 360 with all the illegal aliens. Okay, let's just put it that way. That's a start. If he's just encouraging people to run for office, that's great. But he's got to take that uniform off. If he is currently in the U.S. military, he can't do that. In fact, you're not even do it when you're out of the military. You put that uniform away when you start talking politics. Thank you, Avocado Stalby, for another small bullet in the tip jar. I appreciate it. Who says the enemy of freedom will use what you do against you, so don't do anything. So is he advocating giving up your freedom to preserve freedom? Not a well thought out position. No, that is not a well thought out position. That is not at all. In fact, here, I'll give him one of these.
Your life makes me sad.
Anyway, hello TC, what up? So here we go.
On patriots and freedom fighters everywhere to join this movement. You are called. It's up to you.
By the way, I'm curious too. Is he? I don't know for sure if he's making these complaints from the left or from the farther right. He's in Utah, man. What do you do? I'm not sure. He didn't, I mean, when he says tyranny, I don't know what, well, anyway.
You do to be chosen. I intend to preserve for my children what my parents' generation.
He used that word preserve. You know what? You know the word preserves in. It's in that. What's that thing with the 14-word thing? Isn't that one of the words they use? I don't know.
Has failed to preserve for me. In the future for which I am fighting, my children will
preserving the future. Is this guy? He's one of those. Okay. You already here, TC. I knew that.
My children will be permitted to raise their children without the fear of the government indoctrinating them.
Wow. I'm beginning to wonder now that but either way, he's cooked because you don't do that with your uniform on. So U.S. Code of Military Justice. In fact, here's someone here put this out on one of the next possible tweets. If a military member were to call for the overthrow of the president, it would be a serious offense under the Uniform Code of Military Justice, the UCMJ. Specifically, this would fall under Article 94, mutiny or sedition, Article 88, contempt towards officials, other related offenses. Now, again, I'm not 100% sure his language could put him on either end of that spectrum. Or what do they call that when they come together? You know, they're too much alike, but so it's hard to tell. But anyway, yeah, that's why the Uniform Code of Military Justice is trending. Moving on, Liz Cheney's trending. Liz Cheney apparently breaking. DNI Tulsi Gabbard has revoked the security clearance for Kamala Harris, Hillary Clinton, Liz Cheney, Adam Kinzinger, and more. Do you support Tulsi Gabbard for this? Well, that's a good question. Let's make that a poll question in our chat. Do you? Let's see, poll. Here we go. Is this too many words? Maybe. No, it fits. No, it doesn't fit. Let's just say, do you obviously keep this? Do you support Tulsi Gabbard for revoking the security clearances of Kamala Harris, Hillary Clinton, Liz Cheney, and Adam Kinzinger? There's our quick little poll there. You can answer that. And look, the ultimate poll that got rid of Liz Cheney was in Wyoming, where they kicked her to the curb from Congress. So, so that's interesting. Oh, Liz Cheney and McCain are heroes. Barack Obama hero. Michelle Obama hero. Rosie O'Donnell hero. Beyonce hero. Taylor Swift hero. Oh gosh, I can't even look at that. Turn that shit off. All right, next. What else is going on? Oh, Nancy, because this is the politician section of the show. So Liz Cheney, we got her. Nancy Mace, apparently she's announced her candidacy for the governor of South Carolina. She says, I'm running for the governor of South Carolina. God's not done with South Carolina, and neither am I. You and me, our mission begins now. South Carolina first. Nancy Mace for governor. Interesting. She's an interesting individual. That looks like an AI photo of Nancy Mace. That doesn't even look like her. This one here, does that even look like Nancy Mace? Her mouth's too wide. That's not. Anyway, but she posted it, so it's her. So she's running for governor of South Carolina. Yippee! I like Nancy Mace though, and she's willing to call someone a tranny in the congressional hearing. She's got balls, I'll tell you. Also, Derek Dooley, apparently he's the Tennessee football coach. He's running for governor of Georgia, which is weird because he's a Tennessee football coach. Oh, former Tennessee football coach. Well, he's got to be Vince Dooley's kid. Vince Dooley was a famous coach at the University of Georgia. Former Tennessee football coach Derek Dooley launched Senate campaigns. Launched a Senate campaign in Georgia. He would run against Ossoff in the fall. Republicans have lost 3 straight winnable Senate races in the state while winning everything else. Governor Kemp wants Dooley. He's got that name that resonates in Georgia, but it's kind of weird because he has protected tweets for some reason, because he's getting a lot of shit from the left. And also apparently his team in Tennessee got mad about this video. I don't even know what this is. He got to take down my last tweet with it. So here it is again. Here's someone got mad at him for this post. Let's see what this is.
You know, right now we're like the Germans in World War II.
What?
All right, here comes the boats. It was coming. You know, the binoculars, like, oh my God.
Okay, why did he do that?
The invasion is coming.
So we did a clinic yesterday on proper shower technique and soap and using a rag. We put some new rags in. Y'all think I'm kidding.
He hit 2 punts and he cross-kicked them. I mean, they went 60-something, but I think they were about...
Is he doing the Tomahawk track? No.
Pythagorean's theorem, you know.
Okay, I don't know why that anyone cares about that. Anyway, he's running for Gordon, but then he protected his tweets. Apparently, he used to be kind of a never Trumpish kind of guy. Someone says, I don't know Derek Dooley. Frankly, no one does. But he has the Dooley name. See, in Georgia, everyone knows who Dooley is. Hello, Sheagrath. What's up? Everyone knows who Dooley is in Georgia. Trust me. Even if he's what's his face, Dooley's son, they know that name. But what I do know is President Trump deserves a proven ally in the United States Senate, not some Johnny-come-lately who only supports Trump because his never-Trump third-rate consultants told him to. Yeah, I don't know. For people getting introduced to Derek Dooley, I cannot recommend this Fox Sports piece on him on his time at Tennessee enough. He was simply just bad at every single aspect of being a leader. So yeah, I don't really care. Don't know nothing about him. Or wait, that's a double negative. Don't know anything about him. And it'll be interesting. There's going to be people trying to get that Senate seat in Georgia, and for some reason, Brian Kemp wants Dooley. So don't know why. Governor Kemp wants this guy, but it's going to be stormy weather if he sucks. All right, Texas Democrats are trending because apparently the Democrats in Texas have fled the coup again. They've done this before, and they're doing it again. Texas Democrats fled their state in a $47 million Embraer Aries 170 jet. The jet cost $17,000 per hour to operate. That means the flight to Chicago cost nearly $100,000. And apparently the governor, they're trying to fight this redistricting thing in Texas, which I personally think is a bad idea. I'm sorry. What happened? Remember when Harry Reid did that thing about not being able to filibuster judges, and then the Republicans used it on steroids and got 3 Supreme Court justices out of it? I don't like it when people throw in new shit that if the other side does it, you're screwed. But anyway, that's beyond this point. Apparently, Texas Governor Abbott has issued a warning that if House Democrats, that means the House Democrats in Texas, do not return by 3 p.m. tomorrow, he will move to declare their seats vacant and replace them. Oh, snap. I don't know if he can do that. Maybe he can. I guess there's something in Texas law. So anyway, never forget when a plane full of Texas Democrats posed maskless during the height of COVID while pushing masks, social distancing, and lockdowns on the American people at the exact same time. These are the worst people on earth. So anyway, yeah. So do I have a story on this? I thought I did. What happened to it? I thought it was what happened to my Texas Democrat story? Well, anyway, I don't have it. And also JB Prickster, which is his new name now, JB Prickster of Illinois, apparently is supporting the Texas Democrats running out. He says Donald Trump is trying to cheat the system in Texas, but these Democratic legislators refuse to let it happen without a fight. Their fight is our fight. I'm proud to stand side by side with them as they protect their constituents. Yeah, not so much. Oh, Monk, set up your show. Everyone go see Monkey after this show. All right. So anyway, so all the lefties are excited that JB Prickster is standing tall with the Texas Democrats. I say fuck them all. All right, let's. Oh, we're almost done here. And Texans is trending. It's funny because they they talk about how the Texans are trying to gerrymander Texas so that they get rid of all the Democrat seats. You mean like they do in Maryland? Have you ever seen the districts in Maryland? Have you seen? In fact, even Texas was already gerrymandered. There you have this one district that looks like not even an amoeba. It looks like an amoeba that got cut in half and went in two different, directions, so that they could carve out a seat to make sure that they have someone, of color in a congressional seat. Texas was already gerrymandered. It's been gerrymandered for years when the Democrats were writing the districts back in the day when Democrats still held on to Texas. And, I'm just like, but again, I don't like redistricting when you're not supposed to do it. And this is not the time. Yeah, the Maryland districts are insane. So anyway, that's why Texans, JB Prickster, and Democrats are treading. All right. Look, I have a bunch of articles open. Let's just do one. We'll do one article. How's that sound? By the way, any more people share the show? Not yet. Oh yeah. Thank you. Reaction on Puerto Rico. Shared the show with a dude eating. Oh, speaking of spam. Wait, you got to see this. Hang on. There's a dude taking a big old bite out of spam. That's awesome. And appropriately, he's Asian because, Pacific Rim people love them some spam. All right. Let's see. Let's do at least one or two articles. Okay. This is one of those stories that would be a good one to finish on. Apparently, a man was escorted out of a Major League Soccer match for wearing a MAGA hat. Oh, good Lord. A man was reportedly booted from a Major League Soccer match in St. Louis, Missouri for allegedly wearing a Make America Great Again hat. The video posted on social media showed the man, identified as Michael Weitzel, being asked to leave the match at Energizer Park. He claimed it was for his Donald Trump hat. Here's the video.
We're on cameras up here. No, I just want to make sure. Yeah, what's up? So I'm Michael Weitzel. I'm being asked to leave by the police because of Donald Trump.
Hey, I'm a Donald Trump.
You're a Trump fan?
I'm a MAGA. Yes,
yeah.
I am.
So I just want
all these coppers you got to deal with are MAGA, but they're not political here. They don't want any kind of political.
So those flags over there.
Those are pre-approved.
Those flags over there. Those aren't political. So my question to you guys is: are these rules equally enforced on everybody?
And here's my question to you.
And the only way I can do that is if I enforce it with you.
Or you just go out.
Go out and handcuff. So I'm being threatened with arrest. What law am I breaking? What am I?
We ask you to leave. We ask you to leave.
You're asking me to leave. Am I being evicted from the premises?
You're going to be evicted from the premises. You want to make a big...
Okay. We're going to walk up. I'm being evicted from the premises because of Donald Trump. Because we can't wear Donald Trump hats in public. And so now I'm being evicted from the premises. We need a big procession to get me out of here.
So anyway, allegedly, he was being evicted for his Donald Trump hat. That's a bummer. Poor guy. Just a couple other headlines we got going. Apparently a leftist group tied to the Mexican consulate has been pushing banks to give mortgage loans to illegal aliens. That's brilliant. Which is, in this, a Daily Wire protected article. But we knew that. Remember they were making that development in somewhere in Texas, of all places, that was basically going to be a development specifically for illegal aliens, which is kind of weird because how are they going to get mortgage loans if they can't apply for mortgage loans if you're not a U.S. citizen? But apparently they have been trying to get people to do that. So that's fascinating because, anyway, I should have an archived version of that article by the time we close the show down. Also, the Office of the U.S. Office of Special Counsel is investigating ex-Trump prosecutor Jack Smith. That's a new one. The U.S. Office of the Special Counsel has opened an investigation of former Special Counsel Jack Smith, who may have unlawfully targeted President Trump. I don't know if they're going to get very far. He got appointed. Mike Savage, Blarg. Nice to see you. The USC has Smith under microscope regarding the possibility that he violated the Hatch Act, which says government workers are not allowed to take part in certain political activities. Fox News reported on Saturday, noting it received confirmation of the probe from the office and that Smith is not being criminally investigated. Oh, so not criminally? Well, then what's the fucking point? What's the fucking point? Well, maybe it's a civil violation. Maybe the Hatch Act's just a civil violation, not a criminal one. I don't know. That might be why. Miranda Devine, Russiagate lives are being exposed and everybody's watching, even the Dems. Yeah, people are paying attention to this because even though it's a right-wing conspiracy theory. They got a lot of receipts, and they're being put into the public realm. So, fuck them. All right, next. Now this is interesting. That new mayor candidate, the leading Democratic mayor candidate for New York City mayor, Damme, wants cops to stop responding to attacks on Jews. And by the way, Jews in New York City are victims of the majority of hate crimes. Not a plurality, but the majority of hate lines against people in New York are against Jewish people. Especially religious hate crimes. Well, that's religious hate crimes. Anyway, Jews were targeted in 345 hate crimes in New York City last year, which I'm not a fan of hate crimes, but it is certainly a bias crime. But I like hate crime laws, but hate crimes kind of exist. Whatever you attack them for, it's a crime. And so, fuck them, put them behind bars. Of course, that doesn't happen because they have no bail in New York City and all that shit. Anyway, 345 hate crimes in New York City last year, more than all other minority groups combined, according to the New York Police Department data. Anti-Jewish crimes accounted for 54% of the 641 total hate crimes reported to police in the city in 2024. Since the beginning of the year, 60% of the 123 recorded hate crimes have targeted Jews, according to the New York Police Department. Well, Zoran Mamdani, the radical Islamist and leftist terrorist supporter, has proposed that New York Police Department not respond to hate crimes, instead that they be handled by social workers. Oh, social workers, they're awesome. This is not simply police defunding. Rather, this shifts resources away from responding to attacks on Jews and moves away from having law enforcement deal with those attacks, and instead has his political leftist allies deal with them by burying them. They'll just whatever. So anyway, there's a response to that. Hate crimes victims speak out against Mamdani's proposed Department of Community Safety. Democratic nominee for mayor. Okay, we already did that. And over the overview of the Department of Community Safety, linked on Mamdani's campaign website, explains that he would fight hate crimes as a mayor through creating a restorative justice process. Restorative justice, like let them out and have a grandma bake them cookies and tell them they were a bad boy. I don't know what that even means. A restorative justice process, but hey, as long as they're chocolate chip cookies, today is chocolate chip cookie day, so that's a good day for that. Anyway, would fight hate crimes as mayor through creating a restorative justice process, instituting community-based bystander training, and enlisting mental health navigators. The DCS will oversee stronger, more effective solutions to hate violence investing in approaches that prevent violence through education and community building, interrupt violence through community-based bystander training, and rapid response at the local level. Hey, you know what the really good interrupt violence through community-based bystander training? Yeah, if the bystanders beat the fuck out of someone who's attacking somebody else, that would be great bystander training. They could send them to the MMA gym, put them in an arm bar, smack them in the face a few times. Stop doing that bullshit. That would be the best community-based bystander training, but I don't think that's what he means. Anyway, the article's in the links. I'm not going through it. Speaking of which, speaking of a hero who protected someone from violence. Unfortunately, this man, cyclist 28, killed. This guy was killed when he was trying to shield a mom and his children from a knife-wielding madman at a California train station. A beloved cyclist was allegedly stabbed to death by a knife-wielding madman after heroically stepping in to protect a mother and her children who were being harassed at a California train station. Colden Kimber, 28, was waiting at a Muni stop in San Francisco with his girlfriend on July 26 when a ranting lunatic approached a terrified family and hurled unhinged threats that prompted the 6'4" New York native to intervene, according to court documents obtained by KGO. "Oh, you think you're better than me?" the alleged assailant, Sean Collins, 23, screamed at the mother and her two children at the Ingleside Transit Hub, adding, You are scared of me." Kimber, heading home from a lunch date, positioned himself between the frightened lady and Collins when the frenzied attacker plunged a 6-foot blade into this unsuspecting man's unsuspecting man's neck as he glanced toward an approaching train, court documents said. The San Francisco State University student and avid cyclist stopped moving after the completely and utterly unprovoked attack as blood gushed out of his neck, officials said. The Dryden native was taken to San Francisco General Hospital where he died following surgery, according to GoFundMe, launched by his heartbroken mother. So, you know, and that's such a sad thing. And now the question I have is this dickhead who killed him going to go to prison or not? Or will he be out with a minute bail? Is he from a downtrodden community where we need to, you know, have sympathize with the fuckwad? I don't know. I hate these stories because when you read later that the guy is out on probation or he gets some restorative justice, when I say fuck that guy, that's all I got to say. All right. I got to end on that because I just realized I'm over time, which I often am. But I want to thank you for joining me today on the Morning Night Live. I am going to drop these links as soon as this thing pops up. It's supposed to. Come on, today. Let's go. Come on. There we go. And that's it. I'll be back tomorrow with more spam stories. Oh, wait. Why is this doing this? Come on, man. This is supposed to work. Oh, there we go. Okay, cool. Here are today's links. And they'll be in the description of this video and stream or whatever. And that's it. Hope you all have a wonderful day. Eat more spam. Spam. Eat more spam and enjoy life more because spam is awesome. You have a great day. Gotta go. My name's PDawgKnight, and I am out of here. Bye-bye. Have a great day. Hey, this is PDawgKnight, and thank you for watching today on the PDawgKnight channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterwards so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all the supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through Streamlabs, YouTube, Venmo, and Cashapp, which are all linked in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm PDawgKnight, and I'm out of here.